Economic issues have been central to relations with the United States since Trump's second term began, and these issues were at the forefront of talks when Presidents Yi and Trump met in Washington last week. As part of a trade deal with Washington to lower tariffs, Seoul committed $350 billion in investments, with a big chunk of that, $150 billion, earmarked for shipbuilding cooperation. For more on this, we're joined by Professor Song Soo-young, professor at the College of Business and Economics at Chung-Ang University. Professor Song, thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
So, do you think the shipbuilding partnership between South Korea and the United States can transform and effectively revive the struggling American shipbuilding industry? And how do you see the government's so-called Make American Shipbuilding Great Again project as? Do you think this will be a win-win for both countries? Now, can we expect a major deal to be signed on naval shipbuilding, perhaps?
Yeah, I definitely agree with your idea and your opinion that the shipbuilding is a really key linchpin that connects the South Korea and the United States, the economic cooperation, particularly the recent visit by President Lee Jae-myung to Philly Shipyard, which was operated and managed by Hanwha Ocean. And there are another very big big shipbuilders in South Korea, the Hyundai Heavy Industry and the Samsung Shipbuilding. Particularly, the Hyundai Heavy Industry tried to make a shipbuilding facility and renovate the facility in Louisiana. There is a cutoff area. To that regard, both countries particularly helped South Korea helped the U.S. To rebuild and reinvigorate the shipbuilding industry, as well as the most needed the vessel by United States is an LNG carrier. So liquefied natural gas carrier tank is necessary for the United States to develop some energy-related oil fields and natural gas in Alaska. So to that regards, both South Korea and the U.S. has a very cooperative and win-win situation. What is most key feature of the agreement between the two countries is non-binding commitment. So particularly the United States, the $150 billion are earmarked for shipbuilding, but remaining $200 billion it could be used at the discretion of the United States. However, for South Korea, we have some kind of non-binding, which means we don't have any some binding commitment against a time frame. So we have a flexibility time frame of investment, and then United States may have some flexibility in terms of in the choice of which field should be. But particularly, mostly the most advanced industry would be such as the rare earth materials and also semiconductors, AI-related, technology-related. Those fields are of the most of the first focus of the concern.
Right. Like you mentioned, President Lee Jae-myung visited the Hanwha Philly shipyard on the final day of his U.S. trip last week. So we could definitely see that the Korean government is focusing on shipbuilding cooperation with Washington. How has the MASGA project impacted Korean shipbuilding companies so far? Some analysts say it could drive growth for at least 5 more years. Do you think this momentum will last for a while?
Yeah, I think as far as the Trump continue his presidency in the White House, so what is at risk and uncertainty lies in the future of these commitment of the $350 billion investment is if Republican Party of the United States lose the control power of the presidency in the U.S. That is the risk, clearly, because for example, Democratic Party in the U.S. has taken the presidency in the U.S. Then they would like to change, or they would like to revise this agreement. So that is why both countries, the current regime, stick to some non-binding commitment. Definitely shipbuilding yard and an LNG or project in Alaska. That is the two key factors that used as leverage for South Korea and against the United States.
Right, like you just mentioned, an area of focus, another area of focus was on energy cooperation, especially like you mentioned, the Alaska LNG project. And President Donald Trump mentioned that the United States is planning to make a joint venture with South Korea and that Japan is also very strongly involved in the project. How do you see this affecting Korean companies?
So far, I don't know the details, but my conjecture is South Korea is the United States wants South Korea to build so LNG carrier tank that would help from the south part of the Alaska to carry the LNG to Asian market. On the other hand, Japan is expected by U.S. to participate in the construction of the pipeline from the north slope of Alaska. The distance between the north side of Alaska and the south side is 180 miles, 800 miles. So that means that is almost 1,300 kilometers. That is a really daunting and a very challenging job. But Japan has an experience to build such a pipeline or some gas line that connects the faraway remote areas to the port to be delivered and conveyed through the directly delivered to the gas tank or the LNG tank. That was the Japan had experience in Iran before the Islam Revolution in 1970s. That connects the Abadan with the seaport to deliver the natural gas, the liquefied. At the time, it was just oil, refined oil. But because of the Islamic Revolution in 1980, that was Japan must leave Iran almost within 24 hours at the time of the revolution. So they lose everything. So I guess that Japan wants some government guarantee, the federal government, U.S. federal government guarantee, because this Alaskan natural gas project is more than the budget of Alaskan state. Currently, Gamfandale, some companies is a joint venture in the Alaskan LNG project is offered by the United States. But I think, and Japan wants some kind of federal government guarantee and the participation by the federal government. That's why there is some disagreement or some break in the progress of this Alaskan project between Japan and the U.S.
I see. We'll have to see how that plays out. All right, Professor Song, thank you so much for your insight today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for